What's going on, everyone? Good morning. My name is Iceman. Welcome back to the channel. Haven't done a video in a little bit, but well, I haven't, actually created a video in a bit, but it's beside the point. Today we're going to, or I'm going to do a video here on, it's a different type of video. I don't really make tutorials or anything on my channel very much. This is a very different type of video. So, in short, yesterday I was bored at my computer and I'm like, you know what? I want to do a little project and see if I can, what I can do. So, in short, this video is going to be about how to install PHPBB, so like the bulletin board, open source bulletin board software, or whatever. How to install that on WAMP-Server. Now, there's a lot of videos on. Well, there's not too many videos actually on how to install how to install PHPBB properly on WAMP-Server, and there are some, but they're extremely old. So I wanted to make a modern one, modern video on it. Now, not only am I going to show you how to install PHPBB, on WAMP-Server, but yesterday I thought I want to try going a little bit further than that. Not just install PHPBB on WAMP-Server, but I thought to myself, I wonder if it's possible to install PHPBB on a WAMP-Server, so it's, you can have the bulletin board on WAMP-Server or whatever. I wonder if it's possible to do that and make it accessible, so the bulletin board form software, make it accessible to any device on my local, area network or whatever, so that anyone connected to my router could access the bulletin board software, the PHPBB, but nobody else externally outside, so from the internet, can access it. And I thought to myself, well, that should be possible, but I have no idea if it's possible. But I thought, it should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So, in short, I want to show you how to not only, again, install PHPBB on WAMP-Server, but how to set it up and configure it such that it can be accessed by any device on your local area network connected to your router, but not from the outside world. I wanted to try that and do a little project. And in short, it was successful, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. But I also want to show you the thought process that I had to try to figure it out, because initially I didn't know how to do it. I didn't even know if it was possible. So I want to show you. Basically, I want to show you if not only how to do it all, but how to figure it out yourself. So in short, I didn't even know if it was possible. So what did I do? I asked ChatGPT. Simply asked ChatGPT if it was possible to do such a thing. So I'm going to go through all that. So let's ask. Let's go to ChatGPT and let's ask. ChatGPT.com. So let's ask it. I'm acting right now as if I don't know how to do this, and I'm just recording my thought process. Hey, I want to do a little project. I don't know if it's possible. What can I do? This is how I figured it out. So let's do it. So. Is that ChatGPT? Is it possible to to install PHPBB on WAMP-Server, and configure it such that the PHPBB is accessible to any device, fucking hell, on my local area network, but not from the outside world. There we go. There's your answer. And this is what I did. So I literally just followed ChatGPT's instructions. So let's do that. So yes, it's absolutely possible. Figure it's accessible device in your local area network, but not from the outside world. Here's how you can achieve this. First, install WAMP-Server. Oh, the links aren't working. Links aren't working for whatever reason. That's weird. So WAMP-Server down, install the latest version of WAMP-Server. Do installing. Show Apache and MySQL services are running. Install PHPBB. Extract the PHPBB files. Put them in the www directory if you want installation. Create a database for PHPMyAdmin. Configure PHPBB installation. So basically install PHPBB. So install it. What the details necessary to create and apply the necessary credentials to root. See, I didn't get this prompt I just made up here is actually better than I did before yesterday, because I had to like keep talking to ChatGPT because it kept messing up. Configure Apache. There we go. Select Apache. Okay, this is a little weird. We don't necessarily need to do this. I'll show you another way of doing it. Look for the listen directive. And listen 0.80. Allow all local network devices directory and this. Okay, so this here, I know for a fact is going to create some errors. It's not completely it's gonna have some issues, I think. Require local access to local IPs. Changes to that. Not recommended to do it this way, because this is WAMP-suitable www. This will allow access to, I believe, everything. So restart test, and then open a browser and type that. Blockers to no access. And then to block it to no access, simply easy. Don't do anything. Don't go on your router and start forwarding ports, because if you start doing that, then you'll see your router's port 40 is disabled for port 80. And then you can configure Windows firewall, any firewall using to allow connections only from local IP addresses. You don't have to do that, but you can. And you can also assign static IP if you want. So some of this is a little bit incorrect. So, or it's not ideal, and it can create errors. So in that case, I'll show you how to actually do it. Right. So part of this is correct. So basically, download and install PHPBB. So the best way to do this is install WAMP-Server first. So let's do that. Yeah. So let's do that. So I'm actually going to close ChatGPT because I'm going to show you how to actually do it. Because if we follow this exactly as it is, it's going to create issues. So ChatGPT is not perfect, of course. But you know, there is going to be issues doing it this way, I'm pretty sure. So I'll show you how to look at the config file, this file here, in Apache, and kind of discern how to actually figure it out by looking at the code. But this here is correct. The subnet mask, that's up to you. Well, it depends on the subnet mask, but yeah, this require IP 192.168.0.0. That's basically it there. So we are gonna do this. So so basically, let's follow this part of ChatGPT and see what it gets us. So let's go to WAMP-Server, and then let's see. This one is actually a new thing that I saw. This is the official site right here. This is the official website. But I actually downloaded yesterday from this here. Don't worry, it's safe. This is safe as well because I mean it worked. So the most important thing here is so 64-bit. No, it's only okay. Okay. There's add-ons for WAMP-Server as well. Okay, so basically, so down here we need all of these. We need. Oh, this works too. Yeah, this page is kind of very. Yeah, this page is kind of. This page is difficult to kind of read. But yeah, the best thing to do is to make sure you install this. Install the VC distributable packages. I've done it already. I already have them all, so I don't need to download this. But basically, all you do is download and then, extract the files and then run each of them. So you know what? Screw it. Let me just show you real quick. So let me just download here. So you need this first, otherwise the installer will not work. Excuse me. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. So all we would do is just extract all and extract here. But as you can see, using 7-zip, here are all the files. I would just run all of these one by one. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but you got to do that before installing WAMP-Server, otherwise it won't work. Or the installer won't work, at least. So the full version of WAMP-Server right here. Right, so here we go. So we install this. So download this WAMP-Server. And it might be a little bit. And then while we're at it, let's get PHPBB. PHPBB bulletin board. PHPBB.com. There we go. And then where is it? Downloads. And then there's the latest one right here. So here we go. Download this. That as well. And then that is it. That's all we need to actually download. So after that, let's clear all that. And then that's it. So let's obviously install WAMP-Server first. So just double click. Okay. If you get a pop-up, just click yes. Okay. So English, let's do it. Accept the agreement. Next. And this just says just, you know, install the WAMP server. Oh no, sorry. Get the redistributor packages. Make sure those are installed. So next, and it worked. So if you see this, it means that you have all the redistributor packages installed correctly. If you don't see this, you'll get an error, and it'll say to basically install the redistributor packages. So I'm going to change where I'm going to install this. I'm going to send it to the D drive, data drive, and then D WAMP. Oops. WAMP. There we go. I'll just do that. And then WAMP. There we go. And then, yep, let's do it. Next. And it will install. So now it's installing WAMP-Server. So yeah, so basically we're installing the WAMP-Server, and then we're gonna test run it, see if it works, and then after that we're gonna install PHPBB on it. I'll show you how to do that, and then after that I'll show you I'll install PHPBB. I'll show you it's accessible and everything. So I'll show you how it's accessible from the localhost, so this computer here, and then I will set it up to show you how to run it via, what's it called, or how to access it on another computer on the local area network. So let me just get rid of that. I usually do that anyways. Edge used as browser. Choose another browser. Yes, please. And then I'll do Google Chrome. Google Chrome application. Chrome.exe. Another text editor. Yes. Screw notepad.exe. And then notepad.exe. There we go. Now it's installing MySQL. So once it installs all this, I think it'll run WAMP-Server automatically. I don't remember. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think it did. I don't remember fully. Installing Mariah database. Once this is installed, we can continue. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that I was able to actually figure it out. Okay, do to continue. Let's see. So this kind of shows you how to do it. Okay, so finish. Now we can delete the executable. There we go. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore because it's installed. So the access, so WAMP-Server is on your local host. So WAMP-Server is on your local host, but as you can see, let me just do incognito for this. If I type localhost, it's not going to get anywhere because the server's not running. See, refuse to connect. Even if I do this, reload, it's just going to do the same thing. Even if I do 127.0.0.1, it's going to be the same thing. Okay, so yeah, it's because the server's not running. So what we need to do is run WAMP-Server. So WAMP-Server 64. Start up services. Obviously be patient, as it says, because it's starting services. And once that turns green, it means it's good. Alright, perfect. That's what you want. See, it's green there. So WAMP-Server is running, as you can see. So, so with this running, we can now either type localhost to get to it. Now it'll work. See, here's our server. Here's our WAMP-Server. Or we can type in 127.0.0.1. Same thing, because it's still the local host. And yep, so there we go. Okay, so there's no projects yet. To create a new one, just create a directory in www. So let's do that. So let's close this. And then I don't think we need to refresh. We might need to. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. But let's go to downloads, PHPBB, and then PHPBB 3. Don't go in here and change things. Just, you can even just 7-zip. Well, if you know what? Let me just do it. Let me do it this way, because if you don't have 7-zip, you can just do extract all. So what I'm going to do is, because this here, this is the folder we need, we can literally just do extract all. I never do it this way, but extract all. So extracted files when complete. I'm not going to do that. And then browse data, and then WAMP, whatever that is. There we go, WAMP www. Extract it here. All right, and extract. Might take a little bit. When doing it with Windows Explorer or the operating system, it takes a while. And if you did it with 7-zip, it would be much faster. But it's extracting them now. So this is how you would do it if you didn't have like 7-zip or anything. So because it's a zip file, then it would because this is a zip file, it would work fine. So right this moment, the zip, right in this moment, our WAMP server is only accessible from this computer, from the local host. It is not accessible to anyone else. If anyone else tried to access it, it would be like a forbidden. I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean by that. But it would show like a forbidden and an error. So I'll show you that as well. So we don't need this anymore because it's installed. Let's just verify, make sure it's in the correct folder. Excuse me. www PHPBB. There we go. Properties. Everything's in there. Okay. That's where you want it. Now, let's delete that. And let's go back to the WAMP server, or the local host. Local host. There you go. PHPBB3. Now we can't access it here because it says these are your folders in this here in DWAMP www. Uses an HTTP link. You must declare them as virtual host. However, you can use right-click WAMP settings warning risky allow links on projects. So you don't want to do this because it's very like it says it's risky, but we can if we want. So this here, allow links on projects homepage. If we do that and we refresh, we can literally just click this. So if we click this, it'll take us to our PHPBB, so our bulletin board. There we go. Now let me show you how to get to it as other different with this off. Right, so if we refresh, it's back to the way it was, nice and secure. So we can either do localhost / PHPBB3, or we can do again 127.0.0.1 / PHPBB3. They both work. So right now, this is accessible on the local host, not from anything else, okay? So if I went to like my fiance's Mac right now and tried to access this, it would show a forbidden. And of course, I'll just show you if we close the WAMP server, or it stops working for whatever reason, or refresh, refuse to connect. So let's reload it. Service is running, wait for that to finish or close. Alright, now we can reload again, it'll work. Alright. Right. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Installation guide, nice. Alright, so here's the PHPBB. So it says, literally says, welcome to PHPBB3. PHPBB is the most widely used word in the world. So installation system will guide you through installing PHPBB. updating to the latest version from password latest version converting to PHP from a different discussion board system. Okay, so you got the introduction here. You got the support, and then you have license. Okay, if you want to read that. So introduction, and of course we want to install. So let's do it. Install. So with this option, it's possible to install PHPBB 3 onto your server. In order to proceed, you will need your database settings. Very important. If you don't do this, the installation will fail. Let me show you. So, if you don't know your database settings, please contact your host and ask for them. You won't be able to continue without them. So you need the database type, database you're using, server hostname or DSN, the address of the database server port, database name, database username and database password, login data to access the database. If you're installing using SQLite, you should enter full path to your database file in the DSN field. I didn't even deal with this. So let's do it. Install. So to go through the installation, administrator username. Please enter a username between 3 and 20 characters in length. So this is your administrator username. So this is the username for accessing. This is the username for accessing the administrator controls and stuff. But for me, I'm just gonna do Iceman, and then contact email address. We do need one, so I'm going to do my personal, and then administrator password. This is the password for logging into your administrator account. Okay, so I'm going to do this. Once you hit submit, there we go. Let's undo that. So the database type, this is where things get tricky. So we're doing MySQL with MySQLite extension. This I left blank. This I left blank. Database username, and then password, and then database name. So if we do like PHPBB 3 or something, and then you know, we don't know this information, so we need to actually create a database. But let me just show you. Even if I do like root or something, and no password, it's not going to work. Unknown database, okay? Because there is no database PHPBB 3, so it failed, okay? So what we need to do is go back to localhost, and we need to go to PHPMyAdmin. So let's click this. And also, by the way, clicking this would just take you back to your localhost. This is redundant. You don't need this. PHPMyAdmin. So for logging in, the default server choice is MySQL or MyDB. We're doing MySQL. The default credentials are root, all lowercase for the username, and nothing for the password. So log in. I know this looks scary, and it is, but all you need to do is databases, create database, database name, name the database, something you will remember for the installation of PHPBB. So I'm going to do PHPBB. Yeah, PHPBB is what I'm going to do. And then create. That's all we need to do. We don't need to actually create tables or anything like that. We're good. And we can refresh if we want. And that was successfully created. So we don't actually need tables or anything, because when we install, when we install PHPBB, it should populate the tables and stuff. So it should be fine. So with this here, let's log out. Oh, and keep in mind, be sure to obviously change your username and password and everything for PHPMyAdmin and WAMP-Server. Go ahead and do that. Be sure to do that. I'm not doing it just because I want to show you the easiest way of getting this to work. So localhost. Also, the name of the database that we set up. So PHPBB. Remember that, because that's what you need to use for the installation of PHPBB 3. So localhost / PHPBB 3. Let's try the installation again. Install. Administrator username. Let's do this again. And then administrator password. Submit. Alright, so we don't need anything here or here for this case. Database username. So this is to access the database. So root, that's what it was before. If you change the username and password, be sure to put those credentials in these two boxes. Okay. And then database name, if you remember, is PHPBB. If we hit submit, it should work. There we go. No one ever explained all that to me. So, like in the YouTube videos that I saw yesterday or whatever. So I'm showing this here. Quick secure. If your server is running via I believe it's secure socket layer or something like that. I don't remember what that stands for. But we can literally just leave all this as default. And if you have a domain name, we can change it here. Server port your server's running on. So the Apache web server, okay, for WAMP-Server, the Apache web server is running on port 80. Therefore, this needs to stay at 80. The script path for PHPBB is located relative to domain name. Is this here? That's correct. Submit. Enable board-wide emails. Note the user and admin account registration requires the same be enabled. So I would keep this enabled. That's just me though. And then literally just leave all this as default. We can change this if you want, if you're using SMTP, but I'm not doing that, and I'm not gonna deal with any of this here. Now keep this in mind. The password will be stored in plain text in the database, visible to everybody who can access your database who can view this configuration page. So be careful. So once we submit, it should install. Actually, it's this here. British English. Excuse me. That's all they have. That's all we have here. Title of the board. So I believe you can change this later, but you can just change the name of it. So test forum. Just do that, test forum, and then short description of the board. A test forum installation. A test forum installation. Okay. So submit. It should install. Sorry about that. I had to use the restroom, and I had a sandwich as well. I was hungry. Right. So a test form installation. Fine. Submit. Now we just wait for this, and it should work. Now do not refresh the page because you'll fuck everything over. We do that. Just wait for it. If it errors, it'll likely tell you. I didn't have any errors, but yeah, we just wait for this. While waiting for this, I'm gonna go get a drink. Or another drink, I should say. Alright, there we go. Install has finished successfully enabled extension that. So take me to the ACP. So admin control panel, let's do it. So you will no longer be directed to this page once you submit your pivot options below, clicking the submit button. Send statistics information, sure, I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do this as well. Submit. Thank you for submitting information. And now we can just log out completely. We can ACP log out, which will make it so that we just log out of the admin but still stay logged in as such here. Or, well, let's go back to the ACP. Oh, well. If we did, the ACP logout just logs out of the admin, but if we did log out the option there, then it would log us out completely. So let me just log out. Sorry, but this board is currently unavailable. The reason we're getting this, as you can see, test form installation. See, it's working. PHPBB is working, but you see this board is currently unavailable. I don't know if you saw there was another one before. It had a thing that said like, please remove the installation install directory or whatever. So we need to do that for our form to be completely working. So like if I do localhost /phpbb3, it says this board is currently unavailable. So it's not fully working, and that's because the installation directory is still in PHPBB3. So what we need to do is go here, go to the installation directory, or go to PHPBB3, PHPBB3, there you go, and then install this directory here. We need to delete it. So delete completely, or rename it if you want to keep it for whatever reason. I'm going to delete it completely. Now refresh the page, or click this. There we go. Here's our form, guys. So it works. See? So here's our form, and it works fine. But this form cannot be seen, or what's it called? Accessed by anyone else. This form cannot be accessed by anyone else but the local host here. So if we go to my fiance's Mac computer, we won't be able to. If we go there, we won't be able to access this. But I'll show you how to do that. But you can see it works here. See, works just fine. But again, this cannot be accessed anywhere else. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let me first. So what we need to do is we need to, in order to try to access on another computer, we need to get the IP address of this laptop. Okay, so I'm going to actually shut down WAMP-Server for now. We need to get the IP address of this laptop. So to do that, open start command prompt. There you go. There it is right there. Now, type for Windows ipconfig, enter. So what we need here is this right here. This right here. This line right here. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay. IPv4 address 192.168.0.166. So this is the IP address of the localhost. So not the localhost, but like this computer. So when we go to the Mac and we go into Google, we need to type in this to access the WAMP server or to access PHPBB. Okay. So that's what we need to remember, that 0.166. Okay. So we don't need this anymore. Alright, let me go to the let's go to the Macintosh and try to access. It's not gonna work. I'm just gonna say that. It's not gonna work right now. But I want to show you the full procedure here. Okay? So let's go there. Let's go to the MacBook. Okay. First of all, sorry about the background, the bad mic quality. I'm using the mic on the camera here, but yeah, we have the MacBook. Let's turn it on and see how to do this. So. Not the greatest screen quality, but whatever. Alright, so I'm waiting for that. Let me get my espresso here. Okay. You don't actually have the full screen. I know it's horrible quality, but there's not much I can really do right now because I'll try autofocus here. And there we go. Right, so for you can see that mouse moving there. I don't have OBS on this. It's my fiance's, so I can't really download stuff. But we're gonna go to the terminal here. The first thing we need to do is get terminal. Oh boy, you can't even see that. How do I zoom in? All right, so. I can't tell if you can actually see that or not because it's all like blue and everything. It's weird. Whatever. Let's test something here. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so alright, so what we need to do is remember that IP address that we had. 192.168.0.166. The reason we're starting on the terminal here is so that we can try to ping my laptop and see if there's a connection and we can talk to it. So ping space 192.168.0.166. Enter. There we go. We're getting replies back. So this means that this MacBook can talk and communicate with my laptop. So this is going to go indefinitely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back down to default size. Right. So now let's go to Chrome. Now I'm going to do guest. And then after guest, we're going to do, we're going to go to that IP address, 192.168.1.0.166. If we hit enter, it's actually not going to work. See, we're getting like site can't be reached. Let me make that let me make that bigger. The site can't be. Let me just maximize that. Site can't be reached. Refused to connect. Connection refused. So it refused the connection because the WAMP server is not currently running. So it cannot be because the port is blocked on the firewall on the laptop. It's not allowing the connection. So what we need to do is go to the laptop, my laptop, and start WAMP-Server. So this is what happens if like someone's connected to the to the router and then tries to connect via Chrome to the IP address. It's not going to work. So so we need to go to the laptop and enable the we need to go to the laptop and then enable the start WAMP-Server. So I'm gonna go do that. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and it's just starting WAMP-Server like we did before, like I already showed you. So I'm gonna do that real quick. All right. Now, since WAMP-Server is installed or running, when we hit refresh, we are not going to get a refuse to connect. We are actually going to get a forbidden, because we are not allowed connection to the WAMP server from an external any sources other than the logo. So when I hit refresh, it says forbidden. Let me make that bigger there. See, it says forbidden there. So it says you don't have permission to access this resource. So yeah, it doesn't allow that. So port 80, yep, it doesn't allow that. So it's forbidden. And if we even try doing /PHPBB3, same thing, forbidden, 403 error. So how do we fix this? Well, we have to go to the laptop, so my laptop, and we need to change the configuration of Apache, of the Apache web server. So let's go to the other computer again and set it up the way we need to. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so as you could see there, there's no it's forbidden. We're not allowed the connection. So to allow the connection, we need to go to oh, what the hell? Why is this not? Okay. I don't know what. Okay, there we go. Right, so we need to go to the WAMP installation, WAMP server installation, and then we need to go to bin Apache, and then conf, conf, and then the httpd.conf file is what we need. So we need to open that up, and this is the configuration for the Apache, for Apache web server. So there's a lot in here. But what we need really is the directory, so this stuff here. So this here, deny access to entirety of the server's file system, explicitly permit access to web content directories and other directory blocks below. So what that means is we need to basically copy this. Well, yeah, we need to basically copy this. And then paste it, down here somewhere. So the document, so you see directory, this here, this allows this directory, this here, this allows this block here, especially this require local here. This allows, says do not modify this line, but I'm going to modify it for a sec just to see, just to show you what happens if I like put in the require IP and then the IP address. If I put that in there, in here, it will allow everything on the server to be accessed from any device on my local area network. So if I, for example, do what ChatGPT said and do require IP 192.168.0.0.0/24 for the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. If I save this, then any IP address, any computer, any device with any IP address on my local area network connected to my router will be able to access my entire web server, which is not good because it's a security issue. So let me show you. If I do this here, then I save, and all you have to do is just refresh, refresh PHPBB, or refresh WAMP-Server. Now let's go to the MacBook again, and try to access the the WAMP server here completely. So let me show you. Okay, let's log in again. So forbidden. So let's go to, let's get rid of PHPBB 3 and let's just go to another tab here and do 192.168.0.166. Watch what happens when I hit enter. Oh, that's a little odd. Okay, well, I was wrong with that, so my apologies. I was wrong with that. Apparently, doesn't allow access regardless. So I mean that works. That's fine. Whatever. So that's a good thing because you don't want external devices or any device but the local host being able to access the web server itself. So yeah, that works. That's fine. Let me go back to the config and show you how to actually set it up properly, regardless, so that how to set up regardless so that everything is accessible. Well, not everything, but the PHPBB 3 is accessible, but this is not. Well, it's not anyways, but let me show you how to configure it properly. So yeah, my apologies there. Do not listen to me. Apparently. Yeah, don't just disregard what I said there. So let me show you how to actually set it up properly. Okay. So the way I figured this out was I was like, I don't know what the code should be. So what I did was I just looked here and I saw require or denied. So I thought, okay, that's something that can be used. Those are commands that can be used. So I copied this. Actually, first thing I did was I saw this directory. So directory like that. Is what I did there, and then I copied this manually like this, and then I put it like down here. Okay, so put it here, And then down here, put the closing statement. Okay, like that. Now, the important thing is we need to change this to go to our PHPBB 3 directory. So what this means now is in this directory, the PHPBB3 directory, what permissions do we want? What do we want to give access or no access? So that thing down here, require or denied, I copied that and pasted it here. Let me do that. And then do spaces, require or denied. Now, and then require what we did before, IP 192.168.0/24. Now when we save this, you'll notice, or when we save this, there's a line I'm missing here. Okay, you'll see, and it's in reality it's this line, require local. I'm not going to do require local just yet, and I'll show you why you need that here. So let me save that real quick and then refresh WAMP-Server. And then let's go to localhost. So localhost works fine, but when we try to access PHPBB3, forbidden. We are on the localhost and it's forbidden. Why is this happening? It's happening because we have require or denied here, which denies all external, like anyone else that's not in this IP subnet from accessing. But the reason why this is not working for it is because if we try to do, like, what it's trying to do for this is the same as localhost. Well, it's like trying to access it like this, 192.168.1.166. It's not going to work. Especially if we do this. It's just not going to work. It's going to go to some random site like that. Okay. So we don't want to do that. And I just closed it. And technically what I did doing that was stupid, because technically I was I was trying to access something outside of my router, which was kind of stupid, so I'm glad I closed that. But anyways, we need to require local. Save. And this should work. Okay. In fact, I'm going to close this now because we don't need it. So put this here. Require or denied. So any external devices that are not in this IP subnet, so anything externally, if it was to get in, it will not be allowed access to this directory specifically. And then require local allows us to access PHPBB3, and require IP allows all other devices in this subnet connected to my router to access. And because the firewall or the ports are blocked, externally, no one from external can get in. So I'm going to close this, don't need any more, empty recycle bin. Close that, refresh WAMP-Server. And then go back to incognito. And then localhost. Okay, that works. PHPBB3. I can access it again. Now I should also be able to access via the MacBook. So let's do it. Let's go to the Mac and I'll show you how it should work now. Alright, when we do 166 again, it's going to error and say forbidden. But now if we do PHPBB3, check it out. We can access the PHPBB3 forum running off the server, the WAMP server on my laptop, right over there. Okay. We can access it on this Mac here. And it's connected and no external devices can access this. No external devices can access this because the ports are closed. The forwarded ports are closed. On my router, so there's no port 80 is closed, so no one can access this. So as you can see, 192 on the URL bar at the top, 192.168.0.166/PHPBB3, and it works. And we can refresh as much as we want. It works fine. Well, it took a bit, but you can do that. First form we can access. You can look here. And that's the form, guys. We can go back. And that should work. And then last thing I will do is go to the database again in PHP MyAdmin and show you that the database has been populated. So let me do that. So we are done with the MacBook. As you can see, that's how this works. Okay, we can access it. So yep, that's perfect. Let me reset that. And if we go and shut down the WAMP server, then this page will go away. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let's go back to the other laptop, and I'll show you the database as it should be populated with information. Let's check. Okay, so let's just show you localhost, and then again PHPBB3 works just fine. Let's go back, PHPBB MyAdmin, root. Let's go to the PHPBB database. Look at that, it's loading everything. Yep, see, it populated. Okay, pretty badass, huh? Alright, so that's that. So that's and of course, if we like I said before and showed before, if we go localhost, it works. If we close WAMP-Server, close WAMP-Server and we refresh localhost, so it can't be reached. So guys, that's how you install WAMP-Server, install PHPBB3 bulletin board on WAMP-Server, and how to make that accessible to any other device on your local area network and keep it safe from external traffic, from the outside looking in. So as long as you don't forward your ports, you're fine. You just have to do a little bit more configuration to ensure that devices within your network can access your bulletin board. Okay, so that's all for this part, guys. I know it was long, but I wanted to go through the whole thought process and everything I did. So, excuse me. So, yep, that's all for this part, guys. If you liked it, smash like button like a badass, leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.